Welcome to another edition of the Florida Chamber's Bottom Line with our guest this week, Senator Anitere Flores, Chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and Florida Chamber President Mark Wilson. Senator, thanks for being here. At the Senate Judiciary Committee, you're seeing a lot of legal reform legislation moving through your committee. One piece is the so-called crashworthiness bill. What will it do, and why is it a good thing here in Florida?
Well, I think it's important. The bottom line here is that it's important to give jurors all the information in a case. Unfortunately, what happens is that the attorneys on the plaintiff's side want to limit the information that's given to a jury. And then you'll hear the jury, when they're done with the case, saying, wow, well, if we would have known that information, perhaps we would have changed our decision. And so I think it's important. It's just about giving information to all the, to the jurors, to the people that are going to be deciding the cases, and that's what the crashworthiness bill is about.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Senator. And I think if you look at Florida, what we're trying to do is create jobs. And in the big picture in the United States, Florida is one of the worst legal climates in the United States. It's unfair. And so this good bill simply restores sanity to what the jury is able to do, to look at both sides and make a fair decision.
Mm-hmm. Let's deal briefly with the critics' complaint that it weakens consumer protections. Is that so?
Absolutely not. I mean, what we're talking about here is about giving information. This bill is not going to dictate that one side's going to win over another. It's just about, if the plaintiff still feels that they have a good case, they should still bring it forward. But they shouldn't be afraid of some of the information that's going to come out.
Yeah, and remember, voters in Florida are smart. When we poll the voters and ask them about plaintiff trial lawyers, 83% of the voters in Florida believe that plaintiff trial lawyers are more concerned about making money than taking care of their client. And so what this bill does, the plaintiff trial lawyers don't like it because it makes it a level playing field, and they don't like level playing fields.
Another key issue this session in legal reform deals with expert witnesses. Can you briefly break down what that bill's about?
Well, again, one of the issues that we have is that quote unquote expert witnesses are being flown in from across the country, and what is designed to be an expert is something that is kind of a little bit gray in the law. So we just want to make sure, these are people that are coming to Florida, they're speaking with authority, and so we want to make sure that what they're saying is actually valid, and is actually that they're really experts in their field.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Jurors deserve to know that an expert is an expert and not someone that you found online on a Google search somewhere and paid a few dollars to come in and give you their opinion.
Right. And that's really one of the issues, is that when you look at these expert witnesses, the fees that they are paid are oftentimes incredibly exorbitant. So you have to wonder, well, how much does it cost to be an expert?
Right.
Senator, emotions run high on this debate about immigration legislation, and you've done a wonderful job leading on that in the Senate. Can you tell us where this legislation's heading?
Well, listen, this has been probably the hot topic of the entire session, and is an issue that myself, as a daughter of political exiles that came to this country when they were very young, I'm very sensitive to that issue. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to be involved, is to say, I'm able to bring the sensitivities of our community to the issue. But as it relates specifically to employers, we need to balance the desires of Floridians who truly believe that we must have some level of immigration reform with the desire of employers that they should not be overburdened with extra bureaucracy once immigration reform passes. And so what the approach that the Senate has taken is to give employers different options on how to verify whether or not their employees are here with the proper work papers.
Yeah, and we agree with that approach. The immigration is obviously an emotionally charged issue, and Florida is not Arizona. And Florida needs a Florida solution that makes sense for job creation and is fair for everybody. And I think that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
And let's quickly deal with the critics, civil libertarians, who say this cracks down too much. Reaction?
Well, I would say, really what the Senate approach is to say, let's ensure that we have a legal workforce. The Senate approach does not authorize police intervention in immigration issues, does not give that police that authority. So I think that we've struck a good balance here, and we'll see how it turns out in the next couple days.
I think that's right. And if you look at the issue in the big picture and don't get hung up on the House version or a Senate version per se, I think the critics have a good point. If we go too far, not only will it not be fair, it will hurt jobs and it will hurt our economy. And we just don't want to do that.
Right.
All right, with the heading into the final week of session, let's go to your respective bottom lines for the week ahead. Senator.
Well, I mean, listen, we're down to the wire here. We have literally just a couple days left in the session, just a couple days to resolve the budget, and we still have a lot of issues that are pending. I'm fairly confident that we're going to end up on time, and we're going to end up with a balanced budget, but we're going to have to get a lot of work done in a short amount of time. So now more than ever is the time for the business leaders that are watching the show today to call in and talk to your legislators to say, these are the issues that we need to resolve because we've just got a couple days to get it done.
Yeah, and I think, well, we're down to the final few days in session, but the bridge from here to the end of session is very long.
Yes.
And there are 8 or 10 major issues to go. So what we think happens here is we put the long term ahead of the short term, and I think we end on time or close to on time. But we have a chance to reset the economic table in Florida, and I think the legislative leaders are going to do that.
Good perspective. Thank you, Florida Chamber President Mark Wilson, Senator Anitere Flores. Thank you very much, and we hope your bottom line is looking up.